As I was going into this interview, so many of your podcast episodes, you have like person's name and then like music producer, actor, filmmaker. And I was like, what does it even say next to my name? Like, I don't even know what I am. I'm Tom Robinson, and I'm a little bit of a jack of all trades. I am a professional teacher. I am a writer. I'm a poet. I'm a musician. I'm a music scholar, and yeah, I do a lot of different things, but teaching is the one I get paid for. The other ones are the ones I do for the passion. And I've been writing on Quora for a few years now and gotten a little bit of a following there. So what that's actually a really, really good question. My legacy. I think, it depends on the context. I would like my legacy. I feel like I have this teacher mindset that I want my legacy to be the minds I have helped to open. I mean, professionally as a teacher, there's kids who I have helped turn into the people that they become, and that's really amazing. But also on the internet, writing about things I'm passionate about, just helping people become interested in topics that I think are interesting, helping people to learn new things and expand their minds. I'd say musically, I would like my legacy to be a small body of work that I'm proud of, and that, say, if I have kids, I'd be proud to say, hey, check this out. This is music that your dad made. Like, I would love to have something that I can show people, to show them. For me, music is all just about, it's about the passion and the love. And I want to be able to share that with other people, how I feel, to sort of boil that down into an audio track. I don't know. I'm not somebody who thinks a ton about my legacy. I think I've never felt particularly important, which meant I often didn't think along those lines. But yeah, I want to leave a trail of work, whatever kind it might be it writing, be it music, be it anything else that I am proud of, that start to finish, I can say, yeah, that's mine, and I stand by it. And so that's generally what I go for, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
One of the things that's most changed music recently is that now, what for ages you needed thousands of dollars for studio time, you needed backing budget, you need to put it down, you need a big recording studio thing, you can do with a laptop now. Like, you can, do a bunch of you can record a song with people who are not even in the same place. We're recording a podcast from thousands of miles away from each other.
So at literally thousands of miles.
It's amazing what you can do. And like, in hip hop music, you've seen, you can have somebody make a beat, send it to somebody else, they lay down a verse, send it to somebody else. They're never even in the same room at the same time, but you can work collaboratively in all sorts of ways like that. And I think that's taken out a lot of the gatekeepers from before. Like, it used to be, if you wanted to make music, you had to convince a record label to back you.
Yeah.
Now anyone can make music at home without asking permission, and then they can put it out on the internet, and theoretically it can blow up.
That's absolutely right. That's absolutely right.
And so I feel like when people talk about music being bad these days, that's part of why. But it's more just like, now there's nobody who tells you if you're good enough to be allowed. Everybody's allowed, and whoever can get people to like and share and whatever their music can.
Is there a downside to that though?
I mean, I think there is, to some extent. I think it's part of why. So it's an interesting thing. You know, I definitely think a lot of popular music right now is kind of meh.
I get that.
But I also think a lot of popular music has always been kind of meh, and that a lot of what we remember from the past wasn't like a lot of great albums of the past weren't necessarily the most popular thing on the charts even when they came out.
Sure.
And I feel like there's always been trashy music.
Yeah.
But now there's really no gatekeepers at all between you and there's still very much an industry push, and so things like Spotify, who they put on their recommended playlists and stuff like that, still has a huge effect on marketing and record sales. Or I guess it's less about record sales and more about streams now, but yeah, I don't know. It's a whole new ecosystem.
Yeah. Well, I think that you're right in most respects. I think that what we have now is because the market is saturated, or because because there's music everywhere now, there's more competition for the person who wants to be the true artist. But I also think that there are now more opportunities to get into the game. Yeah. Right. Like I don't know if you saw the posting by 10 where he posted Pete and Bass, but these two, right? Like they're in their late 60s and they're getting paid gigs from rapping.
No, it's amazing, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, and that's the thing, like really anybody can do it now. Yeah. And I feel like, SoundCloud rap became a term for like low quality crappy stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But it was also because SoundCloud just allowed people to make whatever. Yeah. And even with like the pop music, I always feel like I guess it's moving to somebody. Like there's so many people listening to it. I guess somebody finds something of value. So I often have a like not my cup of tea approach. Like that's not really for me. But yeah, rap also, hip hop music is becoming extremely diverse now. It's not just one genre anymore. I feel
multiple lanes. Yeah.
Trap opened up a whole thing. Drill. Also, there's like it's this huge wide spectrum of music that we're still kind of classifying as the same genre.
Yeah.
But has become so diverse that,
Well, you know who I think is responsible for opening a new lane in rap?
Who?
Is MC Hammer. Because then right after MC Hammer, then came in Sir Mix-a-Lot. Although Sir Mix-a-Lot had some older stuff. It was an MC Hammer, and then it was the Sir Mix-a-Lot with Baby Got Back. I think that's when there was kind of like this explosion, and then pop labels started saying, hey, look, like it doesn't have to be grime, right? It doesn't have to be Shakespearean from Wu-Tang or some of the more meaningful groups.
Yeah.
Now, I don't even know. I know this is not a word, but we can popify it, right? Like we can make it poppy.
Word now.
Yeah. So it turned into like what it's like. I called it pip pop, right? Like it's commercial with a very, very pop feel. Where are you on ghostwriting for rappers specifically?
It kind of depends. I think if you're marketing your music as like the work of your own pen, then that's what it should be. Okay. I think, I think if people are open about it, if people want to work collaboratively on songs, credit the songwriters, all that stuff. If you want to just be open about the fact, like there's a lot of artists who, wouldn't surprise, like who I think in a lot of pop music, there's not an expectation that you have to write your own thing, but rap does have a very specific sort of from your own pen tradition that I just feel like if people are going to use ghostwriters, they should be out completely in the open with it. Personally, I quite appreciate people who have their own individual sound that is them,
Mhm.
and that no one, because that's the thing, that's something that can't be replicated. There's people who do that, make songs that nobody else can make.
That's
And
right.
I feel like that's really the dream, is to make your music, to make do what you can do, and find your sound, your voice. And
Mhm.
you know, I like it when people can do that.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm not super a fan of ghostwriters, but I also understand, you know, music can be made collaboratively and da da da.
Yeah.
And as long as you're open about it, whatever.
Mhm.
But I got a lot of appreciation for the writers,
Yeah.
the people who write their own stuff.
Well, I think I'm with Sci High on this. Sci High said in an interview, you know, he says, look, yeah, I write for Kanye, you know, and I write for other people. But from this perspective, how else are you going to compete with Beyonce, right? Like, because she has a team of writers. How else are you going to,
Yeah.
you know,
And that's the
compete
thing.
with
And
our,
like
yeah. Mhm.
in Beyonce's case, that doesn't seem like, you know,
Well, it's not a train wreck at all.
transgression.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Like
not a train wreck at all.
she's
Yeah,
making pop music,
yeah,
and people have been using writers to make pop music for ages.
yeah.
And I think there is this sort of like, I think the grand crime of hip hop is stealing somebody else's thing and calling it your own.
Yeah.
And so insofar as people are taking music that they didn't write and pretending like it's theirs, like I'm not down with that. But yeah, I mean, I think there can be rap Beyoncés too. And like I think there can be people who just make pop music in a rap format the way, you know, with writers and stuff. And I mean, I don't expect Cardi B to write all her own songs, for instance. Like,
But she says she does, though. I don't know where you are with that,
mean,
but she says she does.
She might, but if she didn't, it
Mhm.
wouldn't be like, oh,
Yeah.
well, there goes Cardi B.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I got you.
Because I feel like it's a different it's
I
a
got
different thing.
Mhm.
So yeah.